Adventure, and welcome now to Shout Out Wednesday. Post a comment or ask a question at soulgarden.tv in the Sagittarius viewing room. I'll do my best to shout back or answer 1 week later. It looks like partly cloudy with a chance of randy today for the Sagittariuses, or perhaps some anxiety. Could go either way. Now, there's a lot of setup here by the planets. One is the fact that the ruling planet of the day is the moon. So this is one of those days where emotion kind of takes precedent. Emotion is almost more powerful a force than logic and reason. So be careful. With the moon in Cancer also means your emotional focus will be on boundaries everywhere. Wherever you give it up with the truth, you give up your money to the taxman, where you give up your body to someone else in a sexual, intimate way. This is boundaries and borders. This is what Scorpios are good at, and having emotional sensitivity in this place can go two sides. If you're going to the dark side of the moon, you may start to feel anxious and worried and feel like you don't have enough walls up. If you're on the light side of the moon, you might feel a little randy and want to connect to bring down some walls. Kind of depends on where you're at. Now let's look at some of the other planets. One significant planet today, of course, is the Sun in Aries. We're in Chapter 2. And so, since the moon is ruling the day, and the topic this month is romance and the personal expression of your inner child, if you are feeling the dark side of the moon and anxiousness, well, then your inner child might start to freak out. You're not getting what you want. Life's not on its path. I can't be romantic. I can't be creative. Of course, this is all false. And what we're supposed to explore in Chapter 2 is what we want to do with our personal dreams. So that's a setup. But I think the biggest trigger is Mars. Remember yesterday I was talking about Mars opposing retrograde Saturn in Virgo? Well, Mars is showing in the next 24 hours Uranus energy. So that means that there's going to be breakdown, breakthrough when it comes to you feeling stable, you feeling grounded, you taking care of yourself. There's a potential freak out when it comes to taking care of yourself. In fact, if you do feel super anxious, you must ask yourself, are you well taken care of? Are you on your right path for self-nurturing? And don't forget, with Saturn retrograde in Virgo, you're also balancing your self-nurturing with your career objectives. You can't take good care of yourself if you're still a fry cook at age 45, that sort of thing. Finally, for our shout-out goes to Soul Gardener named Jody, who I think has recently joined the collective. Welcome, Jody, who asks and posts a question in the Sagittarius room about the moon squaring Pluto in her natal chart. So right now, Pluto is squaring her natal moon. That's how I at least interpreted it from your reading. And what does that mean? Well, I'll tell you this. It does mean you're going to be processing some deep, deep stuff in the next few months. You said till November. And because it involves the moon and Pluto, it's likely going to uproot fears you have between wherever Pluto is. You'll have to figure out what house Pluto is in and wherever the moon is in. You have emotional fears between the Pluto issue in your chart and the moon issue in your chart. And in the next few months, you will have to face those fears and get rid of them. That's what a square forces us to do. Hope that helps, Jody. All right, that's all we have for today's shout out. See you folks tomorrow with more Live, Love, Be. So